adopted by the Federal Executive Council. The Dangote refinery at the moment requires 15 cargoes of crude at the cost of $13.5 billion yearly. NNPC has committed to supply 4. However, the FEC has approved that the 450,000 barrels meant for domestic consumption be offered in Naira to Nigerian refineries, using the Dangote refinery as a pilot. The president's advisor added that the exchange rate will be fixed for the duration of the transaction. He said Afrexim Bank and other settlement banks in Nigeria will facilitate the trade between Dangote and NNPC Limited, adding that the game-changing intervention will eliminate need for international letters for credit, further saving the country of dollar payment. President Bola Tinubu on Monday signed the national minimum wage into law, signaling the beginning of implementation of the 70,000 naira agreed by all stakeholders in the tripartite committee. The president signed the bill into law at the council chambers of the presidential Villa Abuja, witnessed by leadership of the National Assembly, Senate President Godswill Akpabio, Deputy Senate President Jibrin Burau, among others. The president, who was presiding over a Federal Executive Council meeting, had to suspend proceedings temporarily to assent to the bill. Shortly after, the Senate President Akpabio spoke to State House correspondents, saying Nigerian workers have cause to be happy, as the government has not only doubled the wage benchmark, but has also added some money on it. He seized the opportunity to caution those planning a national protest, saying while it is their fundamental right to protest, they must not resort to violence or destructive tendencies. According to Akpabio, the challenges bedeviling the country was not the making of the current administration, adding that resorting to violence will jeopardize effort to rebuild the nation.
Responding to the clearance calls, and things have come at a better time than today. Now, the president has indicated that every assignment for everything assigned to welcome you and perform the signing ceremony which we have just witnessed. By the signing of this bill into law, the welfare of Nigerian workers has been more than that.
And not just the issue of passing the minimum wage. From your attitude, Mr. President, and of course the National Assembly, I know that this is not one passage that's going to come the way of others, where you pass and people don't pay. I know that by God's grace, with your leadership and your commitment, because the issue is about commitment, by a leader being committed to do what he says he will do, that the minimum wage will be paid as having been passed. We are grateful that you have put so much energy.
I'm ecstatic. I'm excited about the Nigerian worker, and the national minimum wage amendment is for the whole nation, for the federal government, for the states, for the local governments, for the private sector, and even for individual employers. So I think this is a great day for the workers in the country.
Implementation of this new all-important Minimum Wage Act, definitely at the federal level, but also we will encourage that this is a national minimum wage to be implemented across the society. The federal
The Senate President, Godswill Akpabio, has called for an emergency meeting of the Senate. The circular, seen by our correspondent and signed by the clerk Chinedu Akubweze on Monday, said the meeting was of national importance. The internal circular did not give further details on the emergency meeting. The meeting will be held on Wednesday, July 31st, 2024, just one day before the commencement of the nationwide planned protest against hunger and hardship. According to the circular, senators are requested to make all necessary arrangements to attend this issue of national importance will be discussed. It also regrets all inconveniences that this interruption of the recess will cause. It will be recalled that the National Assembly had commenced the 7-week recess and was expected to reconvene on September 17, 2024. The recess was announced after the plenary last week Wednesday. Both chambers of the Assembly, Senate and House of Representatives were supposed to be on break for 7 weeks, which is the yearly recess. And now to other stories. In a reaction to the directive of the Nigerian Communications Commission to disconnect subscribers' identity model numbers, their telephone lines not linked to the national identification numbers, which was scheduled to take effect on July 31, 2024, a large number of subscribers, their phone numbers were blocked, leading to a large crowd at telecommunication office in different parts of the country. Galaxy TV's Nenwarang Numazaka, who visited the office at Island Avenue, Keja, gives more details.
A large crowd of aggrieved subscribers have besieged MTN offices across the country to express their frustration and disappointment over the telecommunication company's blocking of phone numbers. MTN banned the mobile lines of several users on Sunday, allegedly for failing to link the National Identification Numbers (NIN) with their mobile phone numbers. This was in reaction to the directive of the Nigerian Communications Commission to disconnect telephone lines not linked to the NIN. Some of the subscribers in the early hours of Monday arrived at the MTN offices with long queues formed at the entrances. However, most subscribers say their lines have been blocked even though they have successfully linked their SIMs with their NINs.
When I was browsing, doing something on my phone, suddenly the thing just started misbehaving. I thought it was my phone I was misbehaving. I had to switch my phone, on it back again. The same thing. I don't know, there's no clue about it. There's a speculation that maybe making of NIN to your SIM or something like that, which I have done severally. I've done it up to twice. And they still went ahead and blocked the phone.
I've been here since the pandemic, say after 8. Because I left home since 5 a.m. I'm coming from Shagam. And I'm not sure I'm going to do it. Probably will help us to beg them. The link they are saying this was, let them open the site so that the link will go. To avoid all this crowd. As I mean, I'm able to do mine now. He's able to do his own. Nobody will stretch yourself and come down here. They should just find something to that link and that code.
Yeah, man, I have 3 MTN number. So one is for my modem, one is for 2 is I used to on my mobile phone. So the one on my modem is still working, but the one on my phone, the second one is also working. Just the hotline that is bad. In fact, this one I've been using since 2005. So I was like, how manage? And I have their app. Their MTN app is not even accessing the number again. It's telling me that this number is incorrect. I was like, how manage? And this is the third time I'm going to register this line. I've been to their physical office twice, and I registered on their app once, so making 3 times. So now coming here again, I will be the 4th time. So I was like, how manage? They are just frustrating people's efforts.
But my line was blocked on Saturday. I was here yesterday at about 3 o'clock. There were a crowd outside, so they said, well, we can't go in, that they cannot take more than the people that they had inside. Now we should come this morning. Only for me to come this morning, and I found this crowd outside. I've been here for about 3 hours. But I feel so bad because I've registered my SIM before at their ShopRite branch. I went there yesterday before coming here. It was closed. I don't see reason why they should do that. They can't do this in South Africa, which is their country of origin, but they take us for granted. They take Nigerians seriously for granted. How do you do? Look at us outside.
The blockage has left many subscribers stranded and unable to access their phone services. As at the time of filing this report, the telecoms firms was yet to issue an official statement on the controversy, and it is still unclear how many mobile phone numbers were affected. Nenwarang Yilmazaka, Galaxy TV News, Lagos.
And still on that, considering the challenges the blockage of lines have caused, the Nigeria Communications Commission has directed all operators to reactivate all lines that were disconnected over the weekend in view of the short time available for consumers to undertake the verification of their NINs to their SIMs. Over the weekend, many telecom subscribers and consumers were unable to access their phone lines because of the inability of many telecom consumers to verify their national identification numbers with their subscriber identification model. These, according to NCC, meant that their numbers were blocked by the telecom service providers in keeping with the laws and policies of the NIN to SIM linkage. The Commission, in a statement issued and signed by its Director of Public Affairs, Ruben Moka, stated that telecom consumers and public will recall the compulsory linkage of NIN with SIM, which began in December 2020, when the government directed telecommunication companies to buy unregistered SIM cards and SIMs that were not linked to NIN. It added that since December 2023, the Commission has since reviewed the deadline a few times. April 15, 2024 was set as a deadline for full network barring of subscribers with 4 or fewer SIMs that had unverified NIN details. NCC noted that the deadline was then reviewed to July 31, 2024 to give consumers more time to ensure their submitted NIN details are properly verified, adding that despite these extensions, many phone lines are yet to be linked with verified NINs. You're still on to the news on Galaxy TV. Coming up next. Students of Federal College of Education Technical Akoka refused to allow provost of the school to attend the inauguration of new management council meeting. Details of these and more coming your way after the break. Stay with us. We are glad to have you back. Now, for more updates and latest news, please visit our website www.galaxytvonline.com. Connect with us on our X handle at Galaxy TV. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, youtube.com/Galaxy TV News. You can follow and interact with us on our Facebook page, facebook.com/Galaxy TV. Remember to follow and tag us on our Instagram page at Galaxy TV. You can also avail our eyewitness feature via WhatsApp. If you have breaking news around you, simply share your story by sending short clips or videos of the news on 0818-6666-669. Our social media platforms are user-friendly and can always accommodate your live updates and comments. The federal government has pledged continuous commitment to collaborating with relevant stakeholders to curb gas flaring in the country. The Minister of State Petroleum Resources, Gas, Ekperekpe Ekpo, gave the pledge at a stakeholders and media roundtable on Nigeria's natural gas plants for non-power users. Ekpo, who was represented by the Chief Petroleum Engineer, Gas, highlighted the effect of gas emission to be responsible for the human cause of global warming being experienced across the nation.
Gas is the pride of our nation for now. We are all trying to exit from the use of from oil and concentrate more on gas. So we appreciate all the work we are doing. I will pray that the collaboration will continue. Thank you.
In our remarks, the Executive Director, Center for Transparency and Advocacy, Fetun Adishi, said that addressing methane emission is crucial in mitigating climate change by reducing a potent greenhouse gas, enhance Nigeria's reputation as a responsible energy producer, attract investment and international partnership, among others.
Pose significant environmental and health risk. Methane is responsible for about 25% of the human-caused global warming we experience today. It is over 80 times more effective at trapping heat in the atmosphere than carbon dioxide over a 20-year period. Therefore, addressing methane emission is crucial in mitigating climate change and its impact. In the context of Nigeria gas expansion plans, Reducing methane emission can offer multiple benefits, such as
the transport sector via CNG, as well as the booking sector via LPG. Do we have the requisite infrastructure to help unlock this demand? Do we have the requisite infrastructure to help unlock the supply as well? Are the funds available? And then are we at a risk of over-investing in gas expansion, whereby we have over-invested, but then the world has moved away onto cleaner energy sources, and then we have used our limited economic resources to invest in what we like to call that.
The National Commission for Persons with Disabilities has declared its readiness to collaborate with relevant stakeholders towards making life conducive for persons with disabilities in the country. The Executive Secretary of the Commission, James Lalu, was speaking in Abuja during launching of free medical outreach for persons with disabilities and orphans, said this remains one of the mandate of the Commission. Correspondent Kulujo reports that Lalu disclosed that the Commission is committed to providing free medical services for people with disabilities in Nigeria, adding that the free medical outreach was targeted to strengthen the healthcare delivery for persons with disabilities, as the organization is providing medical intervention as well as free surgery. Dr. James David Lalu with journalists in Abuja at the launching of telemedicine, a free medical outreach for persons with disabilities and orphans, organized by a rural healthcare initiative in collaboration with Poverty and Disability Initiative of Nigeria, supported by National Commission for Persons with Disabilities, kickstarting in Disability Colony at Karen Majiji of the FCT.
Their willingness and interest to contribute their quota providing access to free healthcare services for persons with disabilities in Nigeria. It truly falls exactly within the mandate of the National Commission for Persons with Disabilities. Therefore, we have no any other alternative than to make sure that we collaborate strongly together with them to make sure that this program kickstart here in Nigeria, especially from the beginning. We are starting here at the Karoma GG, covering the FCT. This organization is providing total free healthcare services.
The items that she mentioned that we are going to use to execute this the telemedicine, they are all going to be domiciled here in the Karamajiji Disability Colony. They are all going to be here, so that any patient that is sick, he can easily meet with these trained persons, communicate with them. Our doctors are over there that is going to consult and tell them the issues.
We have discovered the limitations that people with disability have, especially in the area of accessing healthcare. And so we came up with the pet project, telemedicine, to bring telemedicine, whereby these people can communicate with their doctors, with their medical personnel.
From consultation to tests, to seeing the doctor, to medicine, to operation, they are all given for free in the community where the person is. Because some people, when you say they should go to hospital, even the money to go to hospital is not available. So we found it very good that we partnered with PEDIN.
And to the story teased earlier, students of Federal College of Education Technical Akoka refused to allow the provost of the school, Professor Aziz, to attend the inauguration of new school management council. The students blocked major road in the school campus, calling for immediate removal of the provost. Galaxy News correspondent Lepi Joseph, who was there, fired in this report.
The students of FCET Lakoka displayed a rare determination in their resolution for the call for change of the provost of the school. They said the current provost, Professor Aziz, has mismanaged the resources and they no longer want him in control of the school any longer.
Please, the harassment of police officers. This is not the first time, this is not the second time, and this is not the third time. I don't know why we'll be having an internal affair inside the college here, and the DSS will have to mind.
How did they have our number? How did they get our number?
1, 2, DSS and police are not meant to be inside the college. They are not meant to be inside the college, except there is an urgent matter they need to attend to. And there is no urgent matter. Nothing is happening inside the college that can be preserved by the students that are passing the project.
Wait, they said they are going for a meeting. Now, this is one of our demands. All the executive will be present at the meeting.
After a protracted argument on the refusal of the students to allow the governing council to proceed to the inauguration of the new school management council, the chairman, board of governing council, Dr. Adenuga Olatunji, agreed with students and excused the provost from attending the inauguration ceremony.
And remover of the provost. Please, just Google it. We are going to follow that process. We cannot stand here and announce that Aziz will go. I cannot do that. I cannot do that. Even the minister of education cannot do. If he will go, he will go. That's what we want, right? If he will go, he will go. That's what you want. But we have a deputy provost. Hello. We have a deputy provost. Hello. We have a deputy provost. We will ask him to step down a little for us. The deputy provost will come out with the meeting.
The students of Federal College of Education Technical Akoka defile all pleas from members of the governing council to allow them proceed to the inauguration of the new council for the school. They insisted that the provost cannot attend the meeting because they are not pleased with his style of leadership. They want the change and they want it now. Leby Joseph, Galaxy Television News.
Now to other stories. Nigerians have been divided over the August 1st to 10 planned protest announced by some concerned Nigerian youth. Since its announcement, public comments about it have also been balanced by government, and planners give divergent reasons why it should or should not hold. Correspondent Nabuchi Kenabuchi takes a look at perceived reasons for the protest as well as its possible merit and demerits. The report.
Like the Gwogwogongo dance steps were introduced recently by one of the social media skit maker Brinjota, the planned protest has also dominated the media and social media space, agitating the minds of Nigerians on what may be the outcome of the protest, should it hold. Unlike the Gwogwogongo lyrics, which makes people twerk their waist and raise one leg up, the protest sounds like a surugedi dance, which many believe is the dance of the spirits. Looking at why the promoters of the protest are insisting on it, some Nigerians see the planned protest as the only opportunity to send a message to the government over the current hardship in the country. They said the suffering is biting harder. The economic hardship in the country is no doubt eating both the poor and the rich. But the question in the mind of many is, are there steps taken by the government to cushion the hardship? Almost every government officials has in one way or another explained government's effort at containing the hardship through several interventions, such as distribution of palliative, funding some youth empowerment program, student loan and many other measures.
They have seen it all. We don't have so much to say to them, but to say that we are building a country together, and this country is for the youth. We want them to support Mr. President's agenda and initiatives, and to ensure that the policies that Mr. President has put in place for the sake of the youth and for the progress of this country, they support that and see how they come to fruition.
This government is not asleep. in Yoruba land, it's only somebody who is asleep, and I think it's everywhere that you want to wake up. The government of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu is fully awake. I can tell you that since he became president in less than a year, the president must have addressed this country about 5 times. He addressed this country when he was sworn in. By June 12, 2023, addressed the country.
The leadership of Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu has taken the bulls by the horn, has taken some very difficult decisions that some people could not take in the past. All these things are as a result of negligence of various past administration. But to the glory of God, we now have a father who believes so much in young people.
Those explanations, however, seem not satisfactory to the suffering Nigerian youth who are resolute to sending their grievances through the week-long protests. For them, the struggle will be better drive their feelings and compel the government to do something before it's too late. Anabuchi is a Nigerian youth. He wants the protest to be held just to remind the government of their promises, which they have not kept after 1 whole year in office.
Yes, it will be the solution to the current situation that we have in the country. As I told you earlier, I am the even promoter of this thing on the social media.
Depending on the motive for it, there's a difference between protest and riot. This one is a protest. You are just asking government to make an amendment that people don't like actually the price of commodity that's going up every day. You can see there's a kind of a hyperinflation. If you buy 20 naira today, if you go there tomorrow, 40 naira, if you go there next tomorrow, like that.
At the same page with the citizens. And I think that is just where the communication lies. If the government can make themselves available, because the government should be for the people, and the people for the government. But in a situation, the government is far away from the people. I think that is where the misconception is.
Like the Gwogwogongo dance, which has rather dominated the social media space, making people to forget the real theme of the track. The outcome of the protest is dominating the media space, even when the protest is not held. Other Nigerians want the protesters not to allow their emotions to overshadow the beautiful intent of the protest, while government is expected to do more to cushion the effect of fuel subsidy removal, which caused hardship for the citizens in the first instance. Analysts also opine that protesters exercise patience and restraint to allow the policies and plan of government for the country to mature and bring succor for them. Meanwhile, Delta State Police Command, in collaboration with other sister agencies, embarked on a show of force this Monday in preparation ahead of the planned protest slated to begin on the 1st of August 2024. Though the Benue State Governor Ayose Thalia had warned citizens against the planned protest, which he said may be hijacked in the state, holding on account of bad governance, hunger and high cost of living. The Benue Police Command says the show of force is to create awareness that the police, in collaboration with other paramilitary bodies, are prepared well ahead of the protest. The Command Public Relations Officer, SP Catherine Anene, says all division heads have been briefed and officers deployed to ensure maximum professionalism should the protest go as planned, while cautioning citizens to be warned.
What you see outside is a demonstration of police preparedness for the protests that we're expecting. Benue State Police Command has deployed men, trained enough officers in preparation for the protest that is expected to happen on the 1st of August 2024. Though members of the public are advised against protests for fear of hoodlums hijacking it, the police is preparing in earnest for anything that may come out of this protest.
And in light of the planned protest, The Minister of Education, Professor Tahib Aman, has instructed Vice Chancellors of Nigerian universities to ensure the safety and security of staff and students within their domains. This directive was conveyed through a circular issued by the Acting Executive Secretary of the National Universities Commission, Chris Miyake, on July 28, which was made available to the press in Abuja on Monday. The minister emphasized the importance of prioritizing the security and safety of university communities, while also acknowledging the right to peaceful protest. He urged students to remain on campus and focus on the academic pursuits, avoiding potential dangers associated with the protest. According to the circular, the federal government recognizes the right to peaceful protest, but is concerned about the potential risk to staff, students and university property, adding that vice chancellors are directed to take proactive measures to ensure the security and safety of the respective university communities. A pro-democracy group, Conscience of Democracy in Nigeria, has condemned the statements credited to Ambassador Iliya Umar Damagum, acting national chairman of People's Democratic Party, in support of the planned nationwide protest against President Bola Tinubu's government. At a news conference in Abuja, the convener of the group, Adamu Matazu, described Damagum's endorsement of the protest as shocking and inciting, accusing him of working to destabilize Nigeria. It claimed that Damagum's actions were not surprising, given his loyalty to FCT Minister Nyesom Wike, who the alleged was his paymaster. The group argued that the PDP under Damagum's leadership was responsible for the current economic crisis facing Nigeria, having laid the foundation during the 16-year rule. It also accused Damagum of ignoring the terrorism and foreign interest link of some of the protest organizers. The group demanded Damagum's resignation as acting national chairman of the PDP, citing his attempts to undermine and sabotage Nigeria, as well as his arrest by the security operatives.
Arising from the foregoing, the Conscience of Democracy in Nigeria hereby demands the resignation of Ambassador Iliya Umar Damagum as the acting national chairman of the PDP, having confirmed that he holds that position to undermine and sabotage Nigeria. We call on the Office of the National Security Advisor to immediately set up an inquiry into the activities of Damagum and his link to the planned protest, including liaising with some person in the immediate past administration of President Buhari and international entities to sabotage Nigeria.
The Kaduna State Government has organized a major stakeholders meeting for relevant stakeholders on matters that concern the state of the nation. The stakeholders unanimously agreed that even though there was hunger, poverty and insecurity, protest was not the way to bring an end to all the vices in the country, but dialogue. The stakeholders, however, advised government to act accordingly.
For me personally, as an ex-diplomat, I'm fully aware of the disadvantages of going on rampage in any society, be it your locality or even internationally.
We know that there is hunger. For us as a church, we know that people find it difficult to buy fuel and other things. But we want to say this and say it very clearly, that we say no to protests. Not out of cowardice, but from an application of wisdom. Kaduna State is coming out of a dungeon.
As come in a hadith of the Prophet ﷺ, that God has, there is nothing you ask God of which is more beloved to him than asking for peace. In so many instances, he will be saying, "Was'alullah al-afiyah." Always look for peace.
The National Youth Council of Nigeria has given the federal government 72 hours ultimatum to dialogue with youth representatives across the nation. The ultimatum is given in order to disembark from the planned nationwide protest slated for 1st August 2024. National President of the Council, Sukubo, gave the ultimatum while addressing journalists in Abuja on Monday. He recommended a meeting with the National Security Advisor and delegation from the youth to discuss government plan to reduce our cost of living in the country. Sukubo stressed the need for an urgent national youth conference where government officials and youth leaders across the country can identify problems and propose both long and short solutions. The national president, however, urged government to transparency and accountability in the implementation of economic policies.
To make our position known to the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, and we believe that these 72 hours, the President will listen to our cry, our call, our demand. Then we can know what the next step we can follow as the National Youth Council of Nigeria. But we have done what they call wider consultations. We have reached the nooks and cons of our organizations, from the national to zonal to local government and to 36 states, and even to 104 organizations.
You're still on to the news on Galaxy TV. Let's go on a break. When we come back, the news continues. Many thanks for staying with us. Now to other stories. Oyo State Governor Seyi Makinde has commissioned 500 newly recruited personnel of the Oyo State Road Management Agency, OITMA, and cautioned them against any form of unprofessional and unethical practice. He also reaffirmed his administration's dedication and commitment to leaving behind the legacy of building an institution for sustainable development and economic growth. The governor stated this at the passing out parade of newly recruited 500 new personnel of the Oyo State Road Transport Management Authority held at the NYSC Orientation Camp Ishenyi. The governor also officially inaugurated the 15-man special marshal of OITMA to effect what he called citizens' arrest on the road in any event of violations against traffic rule, while stressing his administration's zero tolerance for indiscipline against the rule of law. The chairman of OITMA, Major Adekoya Adeshagba, retired, in his welcome address appealed to the governor for his allowance for personnel of the agency as a moral booster to motivate rededication and commitment to work amidst various degrees of challenges faced in line of duty, which the governor expressly approved in his speech.
Discipline, you will not have corruption. So I want to implore the new recruits. This is an opportunity to serve. It is not an avenue to act unjustly or enrich yourself. As you have succeeded, I'm urging you to contribute your own quota to the development of Oyo State by doing your work diligently.
Recruits were selected from our existing adult staff, the mayors, while the remaining 55% were drawn from the general public across the states. These fit civil well-trained traffic personnel are prepared to enforce traffic rules and regulations across Oyo State.
The President General of a Tiv Socio-Cultural Organization says the deliberate attack and displacement of Tiv farmers from their central land in Nasarawa and other neighboring states is a threat to food security in Nigeria. calling on those inciting violence and mayhem against them to desist henceforth. Addressing some of the affected tea farmers in Makodi who were displaced in Kiana local government area of Nasarawa State as a result of land grabbing allegedly supported with the aid of some police and military personnel, the retired CP called on President Tinubu, the Chief of Defence Staff, the Inspector General of Police and other relevant authorities to wade in to enable the tea farmers return to their land.
Tea farmers particularly are being attacked key. In Kiana, they burnt all the satellite towns surrounding Kiana that belong to tea people. The situation is pathetic. These people are in the IDP camp, helpless, no feeding, nothing, no government presence. We want the government to immediately give security in the area and return back these people so that they will go and continue their business.
The tea people were there before most of the tribes in Nasarawa State. I don't know why they should call us settlers. We're not settlers there. The tea people are indigenous of Nasarawa State. We want to just capture our land. I'm calling on the President Tinubu to immediately come in and save the tea people in Nasarawa State. Why killings every day? You have farmed and then people have taken over your land.
The tea farmers who have been on the receiving end since January this year due to the crisis between them and some other people, the President General called for more farm inputs to support tea farmers to boost production. According to the displaced tea farmers, who described their situation as worrisome, says about 20 people have been killed in the most bizarre manner and their properties destroyed.
Let them try and take our people back to their ancestral homes. Benue is the food basket. And when you're talking about Benue, you're talking about tea. Because in Nasarawa State too, the tea are the great farmers. In Taraba, it's the same thing. And if we don't farm, there will be hunger. If we go to the market now, food items are very expensive because we have no more farming.
Now we move to the international desk for more news. This is news from the international saying U.S. President Joe Biden has unveiled proposals to reform the Supreme Court, calling on Congress to impose term limits on justices and impose new ethnic rules. Biden ruled out his plans for the conservative-led Supreme Court in an opinion piece on Monday, saying they are needed to restore trust and accountability to the court and our democracy. The reforms, which would need to be passed by Congress, include setting Supreme Court justices' terms at 18 years and establishing a stricter ethics code for them, similar to that of governing federal judges. Biden is also urging for a constitutional amendment that would undermine the Supreme Court's recent ruling backing Donald Trump's claim to presidential immunity. The proposals are an unlikely bid by the 81-year-old president, who will not run for re-election, to leave his mark on the U.S. judicial system in his last days in office. With both chambers of Congress deeply divided and Biden's rival Republican Party narrowly controlling the House of Representatives, his chance of getting the reforms through are next to none, analyst says. Reactions to the announcement that President Nicolas Maduro has won a third term in elections in Venezuela illustrates the globe's deep divisions. Venezuela's electoral authority declared on Monday that Maduro had won the race with 51% of the vote. However, the opposition says that their candidate, retired diplomat Edmundo Gonzalez, took about 70%. The electoral body is yet to release official voting tallies from Venezuela's 30,000 polling centers, hampering the opposition's ability to verify the results. However, reactions to the announced results have come quickly. United States Secretary of State Antony Blinken said the U.S. are serious concerned that the result announced does not reflect the will of the votes of the Venezuelan people. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu is used to being the center of attention on his trips to the United States, basking in the glow of bipartisan support and ignoring the few American politicians who chose to criticize his country. But his latest trip came on an inflection point to the race for the U.S. presidency, with Democrat President Joe Biden announcing the day before Netanyahu's arrival that he would be dropping out of running for re-election. Instead of finding politicians eager to meet him, Netanyahu spent most of his trip being overshadowed by local events. Then he was forced to cut short his trip after a rocket attack on the Druze town in the occupied Golan Heights killed 12 people on Saturday. Israel has blamed Hezbollah for the attack, but the Lebanon-based group has denied responsibility, while the European leader called for an independent investigation into the incident, and most countries avoided blaming either side. The U.S. accused Hezbollah of being behind the attack, underscoring Netanyahu's reliance on Washington at a time he is increasingly isolated at home and internationally. The Israeli leader's domestic popularity is at an all-time low, with many Israelis frustrated at his inability to secure the release of captives taken during the Hamas-led attack on October 7 and will continue to be held in Gaza. Still on the international scene, a war of words has broken out between Israel and Turkey after President Recep Tayyip Erdogan threatened his country could intervene militarily in Israel's war in Gaza. Turkish and Israeli officials unleashed barbs at one another on Sunday and Monday after Erdogan said in a speech on Sunday that there is no reason that Turkey could not act, noting military intervention made in the past in other countries. While crude rhetoric between the two countries has been regular amid the war in Gaza, the threat and insult comes as fear of a wide escalation rise once again. Shortly after Erdogan's speech, Israel's Foreign Minister Israel Katz said in a post on X that the Turkish president was following in the footsteps of former Iraqi dictator Saddam Hussein by threatening to attack Israel. Erdogan, who has consistently issued strong rhetoric during Israel's 10-month war in Gaza, made the suggestion that Turkey could intervene militarily in a speech to Israel Justice and Development AK Party on Sunday. Israeli drone attacks have reportedly killed 2 people in southern Lebanon as conflict spiraled between the bordering states. The Israeli attack was the first lethal action following a rocket attack on Saturday that Israel says killed 12 children and youth in the Israeli-occupied Golan Heights. The strike has increased concern that the war in Gaza threatens to escalate into a regional conflict. Lebanese state media said one strike hit a motorcycle close to the border, killing 2 riders and injuring a child. 2 others were injured in a separate strike in southern Lebanon. The Israeli military said it has struck Hezbollah operatives and infrastructure, but did not give more information. Israel has blamed Hezbollah for the rocket attack at the weekend. The pair has been pursuing a long campaign of low-level hostilities across the border for many months. The Lebanese armed group, which is aligned with Iran and has pledged to continue to attack Israel in solidarity with Gaza, has denied responsibility. Lastly, on the international scene, within the sterile walls of the National Institute of Ophthalmology and Hospital, NIOH in Bangladesh capital Dhaka, a somber scene unfolds. Thousands of young men, their faces etched with worry and uncertainty, sit in silent anticipation. Some shield their injured eyes behind dark sunglasses. Others wear white bandages on one or both eyes. One question hangs in the air: will these men ever see the world clearly again? They are victims of pellet injuries. Both survivors are reminders of the deadly clashes between protesters seeking job quota reforms and the security forces of Bangladesh that engulfed the nation of 170 million people for nearly 2 weeks this month. Among them is Mohammed Hanik, a 24-year-old salesperson from Mandaripur, a central district some 150 kilometers away from Dhaka. And that's it from the international scene. Coming your way next, entertainment news.
Welcome to Entertainment News. My name is Rose Blossom Oye.
Nigerian comedian Oluseyi Aletile better known as Sheyi Law, has bagged an appointment with the Osun state government. The award-winning comedian made the good news known on his Instagram page. He revealed that he has been appointed Senior Special Advisor on Entertainment and Tourism to the Governor, His Excellency Ayedatiwa. Appreciating the Governor of his appointment, he prayed that God help him in assisting the Governor to achieve his greatest vision of the state. While some took to the comment section to congratulate him, others noted how his support for Tinubu has finally paid off. Gospel singer Moses Bliss has attracted internet backlash after it was alleged that he charges 7 million naira to perform at events. An ex-user made the claim saying that if the two faithful kroner charged that much for a single gig, he would rather pay secular musician Olamide to attend his event instead and would be amazed at how people would turn up. The Twitter user identified as Joshua alleged that the singer demanded 7 million naira as fee for ministration. Some defended the gospel musician, claiming that he had made a name for himself and deserved what he was demanding. Others, however, pointed out that he was charging too much and that he should lower his prices because he was performing God's work. In addressing Moses Bliss' issue, numerous netizens talked about how other gospel singers charge more and even add logistics costs for the person inviting. In the debut challenge of Big Brother Niger Season 9, Chine and Nne, known together as Ndinne, emerged victorious on Sunday night. This win grants them significant power, including immunity from eviction this week and influence over the nomination process. Additionally, they will be exempted from facing eviction this week. The housemate will next compete in a head of house and immunity challenge on Monday, with the winners also gaining immunity from eviction. In a surprising twist, Big Brother has introduced a new voting system for the head of house challenge, where contestants will participate in a ballot to determine the winner. A former spokesman for the Labour Party's Presidential Campaign Council, Kenneth Okonkwo, has left the party. The Nollywood legend has also parted ways with Peter Obi, former presidential candidate of Labour Party. In a statement titled Political Journey to a Great Nigeria, which he shared on his social media platform, Okonkwo cited his disappointment with the party's internal crisis and the failure of its former presidential candidate Peter Obi to address it. Okonkwo expressed his commitment to a great Nigeria built on equity, justice and fairness, but stated that the current political parties, including the Labour Party, do not have what it takes to lead the country to greatness.
And that'll be all on entertainment news. Thank you so much.